Hello everyone and welcome to another Destiny episode from NPC Gaming. I'm Rob, mainly the guy who posts up these Destiny things, and I'm going to be talking to you about the King's Fall raid. And my god, was it an awesome raid. I finally completed it, I think a few days ago, and I got some awesome loot from it. I got some awesome game experiences from it, and I'm so glad I finally I was able to do it. But going into this, I'm going to be talking about how the raid was, basically some of the mechanics, so I guess spoiler alert if you want to play the raid without watching, but why are you watching my video at that point? Anyway, the raid was amazing. The raid is really, really amazing. And I can't stress how good of a job Bungie did just putting this video out, or putting this raid out there and taking the time to make it one of the best raids I've ever played. I went into this semi-blind. I was kind of new to the mechanics and everything. My buddies helped carry me through, and I was very thankful that my clan was able to do that for me. But I still shoot out my end of the portion, my end of the damage to Oryx. But enough about that. Let's go into why I think this is definitely one of the best raids to come out since, Vault of Glass. There's only 3 raids. Now, in this raid, they have made it impossible to solo. Like, this is impossible. There is no way that you can ever solo this raid. And if there is, I will eat my hat. But that being said, just the sheer mechanics, there's no freaking way that they will ever make this soloable. But regardless of that, that little gripe I have, and it's not really a gripe, it's just kind of a view on it that I find is pretty good. I'm glad they made it not soloable. It needed to, raids are supposed to be teamwork. And as cool as it was to see the Crota's End solo runs, that just blew my mind that people could solo Crota like that. Beating his dad to a rough catalyst that you'll see at the end. That was just so satisfying. So satisfying to, get in there with my team and beat this dude's asshole purple. Much like his glowing chest. But looking, going into it, looking into the raid and the mechanics, we'll start from the beginning. Very beginning, you have the totem, kind of totems. No, what's the totems? You basically grab a ball, grab a relic, and you slam it into where you place the relics for the Court of Oryx. It was a lot of fun, lots of teamwork, and you basically got to play football with a relic, and it was a hell of a lot of fun. Later on, you get past that part, you kill a bunch of hive that are coming out of the Ascendant Gate, and you just wreck face. You just destroy all of these hive, and it was amazing. And that wasn't even the best part. You get after that, if I'm remembering correctly, which I believe I am, yes I am, they have the jumping puzzle. Now, a few of the people in my clan that I was raiding with at this time, they absolutely hate jumping puzzles. We actually had one guy just quit. He quit in the jumping puzzle, and he just came back a little later on, after the jumping puzzle was done. Otherwise, we would have been at that jumping puzzle for probably half an hour. It's okay, Baker. It's okay. But regardless of any of that, we got past that section, got to the hidden chest. Again, the hidden chest was like a bitch to get to, but it was interesting. A little more jumping puzzles and jumping puzzles and jumping puzzles. You see kind of a trend of jumping puzzles in this, a lot more than I ever would have expected coming out of this raid. Feels like the jumping puzzle from Vault of Glass just multiplied way more. But The jumping puzzle in Vaulted Glass wasn't that bad to me. Granted, I'm pretty good at jumping puzzles, so I was pretty alright doing that section. After coming through that, you come to the pillars, where you need to get through the gate. You do that 10 times. We pretty much flew through that, because that's one of the easier sections. Again, not soloable. There's no way that you can get to these 2 relics, because one person has to be on a relic at any given time. Pretty good mechanic, pretty fun section, lots of communication, lots of teamwork. I enjoyed it a lot. Coming out of there, then you're fighting the War Rapist. Oh, I'm sorry, the War Priest. The reason I was saying War Rapist is the dude straight up just murdered my fire team the first time I went in there. He like kept wrecking us and wrecking us and wrecking us and wrecking us. A lot of fun still, but yeah, he had to really get taught the mechanics for that one. At least I did. And you know what? Once we finally beat him, it was a lot of fun. It was a heck of a lot of fun. I didn't get any loot. Didn't get any loot out of that one, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And that time I lost some loot. Some very awesome, sweet loot. Some of my buddies got the machine gun, others got the sniper. But I kinda got something nice at the end, so I can't complain. Now, after the Warpist, we fight Golgoroth. The bane of my existence when the first week of this raid came out. Golgoroth is just... he's a tank. Bungie, please nerf. Well, you know, once you finally learn it, it's not that bad. But, he's just a straight up tank, and thankfully my fire team this week had excellent communication. We got him down the second time we did it. We did have some bickering, you know, it's kind of a stressful fight. But we ended up beating him. I got myself the chess piece for my Titan, and I was very glad. Finally had a 300 chess piece. Before then I had a 299 chess piece, but you know what? I'm glad to have the extra point, and it boosted my light level up a little bit more than, you know, the average, and I was very glad about that. After we beat Golgoroth, you know, and granted I was doing the Touch of Malice questline during this, so I was getting all these done. I was very happy. It was amazing. I can't stress how much I enjoyed this raid. After that came the next jumping puzzle. Baker out. He jumped out again because he wasn't about to do the stupid jumping puzzle for that one. He called it stupid. I enjoyed the jumping puzzles. Jumping puzzles fun. But, you know, he jumped out of that. I got my little chest from... I think I had the secret chest from that. And it was a good time. But, aside from that, that was pretty fun. Then we came to the Death Singers. Death Singers only took us a few passes to finally get them down. I think it was Eranuk and Halak? Or Iraka. It was something of that nature. I'm trying to pronounce hive names and I have no idea what I'm saying. But that was a pretty fun fight, pretty interesting. I had to learn the mechanics again. It took us a few times. We wiped a few times. But, again, more pieces to the Touch of Malice. But from there, I got a 309 Titan mark. It's pretty awesome. I was so glad to finally have a halfway decent Titan mark to put on, and it's a Sephiroth wing. Love it! It is, like, the raid loot for the Titan, it makes you look like the War Rapist. So, you get to look like a dinosaur if you collect all the pieces, and I want to collect all the pieces. I want to look like a freaking dinosaur killing all the hive. And going into it whenever I can get the chance to finish that up. But after the Death Singers, we ended up fighting Crota, which is the gameplay you're seeing right now. Wiped a few times. In the beginning of the video you saw us wipe. And we did it in this video. Yeah, we did it in this video. And get some pretty sweet loot that I will comment on when it comes up in the video, which should be relatively soon. But the Oryx fight, just the sheer mechanics that come out of this Oryx fight. It takes everything that you've had to learn throughout the game to beat this dude. Like, you need to destroy the blights, like you need to destroy the giant, you know, pretty much cum bubbles that are floating above to do extra damage to Golgoroth. You need to kill the ogres. I don't think that was anywhere in the raid, but you know what? Screw it. Well, regardless, you got to do all that and use basically all the old raid mechanics that you thought that you want to have to use again for Oryx or had to learn again. No, it's just the culmination of all the mechanics that you learned during the raid. With, you know, a little twist or so. But just this boss battle was so epic. Like, seriously, I've never fought a boss like at this epic of a proportion, being this desperate to, you know, have this much communication and talking and speaking. There's never been a raid I've had that we've done this. But as you're going to see right now, I gotta died before I could DPS Oryx in the final stage. But my raid team did it with 5 people. Lots of them had Touch of Malice. But they DPS'd Oryx. They killed Oryx. The Taken King was slain. And I got my Ravenous Heart. It'll pop up in the screen in a second. Oh my gosh, but it was a hell of a fight. Loved it. I cannot stress enough, like, this is a really, really hard raid, but it was so totally worth it. Now, coming to the loot that I got from the raid, as you can see, I got the Doom of Chelchis, and that was the scout rifle. Pretty shitty roll, I'm not gonna lie. It was a 308 though, so I'm pretty happy. But it is an amazing scout rifle. Definitely is my go-to. Now I have Touch of Malice, but it is my go-to when I'm using a legendary. Aside from that, I got the Raid Auto Rifle. It was promptly infused into my deal breaker, mainly because I'm never using that stupid auto rifle. Bungie, you kind of fucked up on that one. But yeah, like my buddy Doc, he was telling me to test it out before I said it was horrible, because I've heard it was horrible, and I'm like, okay, well, that can't be that bad. I fired at a wall like 3 feet in front of me, and I couldn't hit the same place. Yeah, you see? Bullets everywhere. But I also got the Raid Fusion Rifle, as you saw in there. I got the Titan Mark. You get a nice little shader from here. I got a 310 artifact that I got in the tower later on from Eris. Get a ghost. Pretty happy about. I got another chest piece. Bungie, please, you should have given me something else. But I'm a gracious Rob. Thank you, Bungie, for giving me an awesome chest piece that dropped a little higher than the other one, and it was more solar focused, I believe. So, GG, Bungie, GG. Whoa. But that is mainly my commentary on the raid. It's a hell of a raid. If you don't have a bunch of people to do it, I recommend going on LFG or finding a few of your buddies that want to, you know, try it out, see how the raid is, and just take it for a spin, man. I mean, just go for it. It's a lot of fun. Take a couple hours out of your day. Some of my buddies were doing it today, and they did it in 4 hours, but they knew the fight. They've already gotten some of the raid gear, so that's to be expected. But honestly, I would say take about 6-7 hours out of your time, or go through it throughout the week. You know, do something of that nature. But you gotta do the raid, man. You gotta do it. It's the only way to get past 300 officially by Bungie. And it's totally worth all the time that you will spend into this. Over here, there's a cheeky little, I forget what it's called. Like an Easter egg, I guess you'd say. Something like that. But where I was pointing, you saw a little ball there. It's spinning at a really high rate of speed. But thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day, and good luck on this raid.